Hello, I'm Frances from Homestead, and I want to talk to you about my water catchment. Now this is the water catchment that I've already shown you that we set up on the chicken coop for the chicken waterer. This is just one of what we hope will be many water catchments on the property. Here's the thing. We have a well on this property. It functions regularly at 4.5 gallons per minute, which isn't a lot, but it's definitely manageable for the household. However, in the dry season, it drops to only about 2 gallons per minute. And that's still manageable for the household. If we want to have a garden, an orchard, maintain pasture, that is devastating. Like what happened this summer. By the time we understood what was happening, I'd already planted a large garden and was developing the pasture in the field, and plants were deprived and unable to thrive. One thing that helped save some of the plants in the garden was the water catchment for gray water from the washing machine that we set up. So we're digging a hole. We are catching gray water, and we've rigged up some piping coming out from underneath the washing machine, and we are going to be burying this 275 gallon tote so that the opening is below the pipe, so it's 4 foot high and 4 foot wide, so that's the size of hole we need to dig. It did rain last night, so it's a little easier to dig in the sand because it's not falling back in. It's holding together a little better. Still a job. So we're needing to move this pile of dirt so we can get the tote into the hole. But I couldn't throw the dirt more than just the edge of the hole. So I'm having to do a double duty here with this dirt. Wasn't hard at all.
You kidding?
Yes.
I hope you are, because it was terrible.
Oh, yes it was. Oh my gosh. We did it! I can't believe we actually did it. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna start on
Now
that
just
side.
fill it back in. Another great help was our amazing neighbor who let us fill a 275-gallon tank twice a week for over a month. A lifesaver. Now we've already put a water catchment on a woodshed that we built, but it has a really small roof and doesn't catch a whole lot of water, but it will catch, you know, a 55-gallon tank that will be helpful for some of the plants in the front. We hope to be continuing to catch more. But we've also been setting up a water catchment on both sides of the house, and hopefully we can add more tanks as they fill up. Okay, we are ready to put the rain gutters up on the house for our water catchment. And it's going to be a bit precarious up here. Got one good sized ladder, but then we have another one a bit lower. So I'm going to be standing on the top rung of this orange ladder, holding. This will be interesting, I must say. We'll see how it goes. We are going to try this out. Hopefully, we all survive it. Well, it turns out I didn't count correctly, and we are 2 connectors short to finish up here to go all the way to the end. So we'll have to wait till we get back to town so that we can finish that up. But in the meantime, we're going to work on the stands for the water tank. We want the water tanks to be up high enough so that we have good water pressure using gravity. We're now going to attempt to build a water tower for the water catchment system that we have on the house. And what we're going to do is we've got these 4x4s that we found on the property that we've collected. And we have a pallet that came with the wood chipper shredder that we're going to use for one of them. And we've taken off the bottom pieces, and now we're going to build a frame and add the legs and supports. Okay, so we've finished our first tower, and now we've gone down to the barn where we have all of our materials that we found on the property stored, and we've collected some more materials. We're going to try it again for this second one. Okay, second tower is done. We got it. Now, we've saved half the money we need for a 3,000-gallon water tank that we want to put on the well pump so that we can stockpile water from there. This is where we want to put the holding tank. And as we can afford to buy more rain gutters and water tanks, we also want to set up a water catchment on the shop and on the barn. But the biggest undertaking is going to be a pond. Now, we already have a natural depression between two hills in the field that, with some excavating, which will be another big expense, we could develop a good-sized pond to catch water from those hills. But then we also need to be able to hold the water in the sand. Now, Joe Soliton, the Homestead guru, says that you can use pigs to seal a pond. And so we're looking into that process. Now, all of these things together can be rather overwhelming and daunting. But we are determined to have an orchard and to have a good-sized garden, to grow berries and grapes and all these wonderful things that we want on our homestead. So we are willing to tackle one project at a time and plug away, saving for each expense one by one. But for now, the rain has come back and the fields are green again, and we have high hopes to catch lots of water so we can have a more productive season next year. Thank you for joining me on this journey. It's turned out to be quite a ride. I hope you join me next week. I want to tell you more about what we've been doing with the chickens. I'm so grateful for you. Until we meet again.